Hey ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late to my own scheduled live. I was actually recording a video for a client, and so sorry, clients always take priority over social media. So now we get to go live. So today I'm talking about something I am so excited to talk about this. So I literally lost over 60 pounds and have kept it off learning macros, learning how to track macros, learning about them, applying more concepts than just like, these are just some erroneous numbers, but like, training a different way, using cardio strategically. Like, I was able to change my life using concepts that were taught to me, and now that's how I help other women. So this entire live coming from someone who teaches macros a lot, and it's what I use, and it was really successful, and it is very successful in a lot of women's lives. Today's live is all about why you actually don't want to know your perfect macros to start. Why it's actually something that is not going to help you in the long run. So I get asked a lot in DMs, what macros do I need to lose weight? How much protein do I need to lose weight? What should my macros be? These are my macros. Why aren't these working? I should be losing weight. And I'm just like, without context, like, I have no idea. It's like randomly sending your like heart rate to a doctor, being like, what do you think I should do? Were you at rest? Were you running? Like, we need context to actually make an inference on data. So I get asked so much, what should my macros be? What are the magic macros for weight loss? What should my macros be? And I'm like, when you're not a client, like, I have no idea. I need an entire history. We need to know what you're doing. So if you refer back to yesterday's live, we need to know where you are now before we can make a game plan of where you actually want to go. But today's live is specifically about you women who are blowing up every coach you can find's DMs. Like, what should my macros be? What are my macros? What do my macros need to be to lose weight? And then those are going to be the women that go online and find like the online macro calculators. I have an entire video on that. That's not what this one is about. But like, you're going to plug in your age, your sex, your height, your weight, your activity level, like blah, 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 like all those things. And then it's going to spit you out how many calories you should be eating based on like how much weight you want to lose each week and give you macros. And then you're going to cross-reference that with like 6 other ones online, and they're all going to give you something kind of different. And so then maybe you're going to average them together and be like, sweet spot, crushed it, solved the puzzle. And then you're going to try it and then it doesn't work. Then you're mad. Or maybe you took it a step further and you actually hired someone. You paid a coach who's actually good at what they do for a one-time macro consult. What do I need to know right now to start losing weight? And they give you your macros. Here are your magic numbers. Go away. That is exactly what you paid for. You paid for your macros and you're done. Also, terrible idea. Because unless you are actually working with someone who can help you apply them, macros doesn't help you. Because what happens if you can track your macros for like 3 days in a row and then all of a sudden guests come in from out of town, or God forbid a birthday or a holiday, or you thought you thawed the chicken and you forgot? How on earth can you make it happen? What happens if you had your whole day planned and something happened and you, God forbid, you packed your lunch and then you left it at home, or it's toward dinner and you are so far behind on your macros you have no idea what to do? Or maybe you went off the rails a little bit. Maybe you overate. Oh my God. So the next day, do I still track? Do I undereat? You have no idea what to do. So there's no practical application with a one-time macro consult or using an online calculator. They just give you numbers. They give you nothing else. So I'm just going to be really honest. Macros are stupid easy. A monkey can spit you out starting macros. That is the easy part. A monkey could probably teach you how to turn on a car and make it go. A monkey can probably teach you that. Turn on the car, make it go in a parking lot. Very simple. Do you want the monkey that can teach you how to turn on the car and at least get it rolling the right direction to teach you how to navigate traffic? Probably not. That's what's happening with macro calculators. That's what's happening with the one-time consult, is you get the ignition turned and then you have no idea how to apply that in real life. You can't navigate traffic. You don't know how to do anything other than those numbers. You don't know if you're being close enough. You don't know if you can actually exercise a little bit more flexibility. You don't know how to recover from time off. You don't know how to do it at all. And then what happens if those macros work for like 2 months and then they stop, then what do you do? Okay, so I'm gonna eat less. Do I just drop carbs? What do I do with protein? Oh, fat should go. No, but then I'm already like, I'm over on fat all the time. You have no idea what to do. So then you have these magic numbers, and if they worked, they're going to stop working eventually. So then you don't really know what to do. But what happens more often than not is you are given this random set of macros. I get this in DMs all the time, or like on like new client intake forms. It's like, I was given these macros by like so-and-so's page on Instagram's like free calculator, and I've been using these forever. So clearly macros don't work for me. So that is why that is like getting a one-time macro consult with no practical application at all is one of the worst things you can do, especially if you are brand new to a weight loss journey. Because macros, if used strategically, properly, with application, how to apply these things in your life can be unparalleled in regards to their effectiveness. Currently, this is one of the best ways you can lose weight. So if you get this like one-time consult and have never been taught how to actually do it, how to actually apply it, you're going to not get results from learning how to track macros, and therefore think macros don't work for me, and potentially miss out on the single biggest diet likelihood to have success that you will ever have. You will miss out on like the thing that could actually work because you tried to take a shortcut and figure it out by yourself by someone just spitting you out macros. Like if you're going to, like, I'm a physical therapist. I went to physical therapy grad school where we had classes, but then you have to go into the clinic, and in classes we had labs, because it's not just like, this is like this muscle tissue or joint or nerve or whatever. It does this. Okay. So who cares? I'm not trying to be an anatomist. I need to know how to fix it. We need practical application. No one wants to go to a physical therapist who has never treated a patient. No one wants to have a doctor who has never had to do, like their extra time in the clinics, in, like the hospital, in this setting. Nobody wants that because there's no practical application. You don't want to work with someone who's never done it. Like if you have a toothache, do you really want hey Catherine, so happy you're here. But like, would you literally want to go to a dentist if your tooth is killing you? And they're like, I read all the books. I learned what number that tooth is. Absolutely not, because you don't know how to fix it. You've never been taught how to apply your knowledge. That is the issue with one-time macro consults, is they can turn on the ignition of your car, but they can't tell you how to navigate traffic. And life is really messy. No one gets to start a diet and then you never have a social obligation. You never have a birthday. You never have a holiday. God forbid you never, have like unexpected family come to visit. You never have a vacation. You never forget to thaw the chicken. You never leave your lunch at home. You never plan on getting something at the grocery and there being out of stock of your go-to, or your husband eat your leftovers that you were going to have. That doesn't exist. It is messy. It is bumpy. It is not straightforward. Yeah, sometimes there's going to be weeks where you're just cruising and using the same macros, and it's totally fine. But what you need is someone to help you figure out how to apply things like that when life happens. Because life doesn't always let you meet your protein goal right on the nose, and your carb goal right on the nose, and that fat goal right on the nose, and get all of your fiber, and then, drink your water, and really keep your stress low, and really prioritize sleep. Like, those are all things that we need to work on, but there's a reason they call things like that a practice, because you need to do them and constantly work on applying things that make you feel your best in varying scenarios. Like, I was just in Pennsylvania over the New Year's weekend to visit with Josh's family, so my steps weren't where they usually are, so I was trying to do things to make the best of that situation. I couldn't find that anywhere online. It's because I've spent enough time learning how to apply things in my healthy lifestyle in a multitude of environments by trial and error on my end, but working with a lot of coaches. So that is the main thing I wanted to harp in here, is why losing weight is not something that can happen by an online calculator or spitting out. There's no perfect macro ratio of carbs to fats to protein. There's no perfect number that equates to weight loss. It matters way more on you as an individual, which ties back to yesterday's live. So if you missed that, make sure you check that out. It's a pretty quick one. But even if someone nails it and gives you a perfect macro split, and that's all you got, you paid for a one-time macro consult, and here you go, here's your macro consult, off you go, good luck. You have no ability to apply that in any scenario outside of a perfect day. That leaves you kind of like, well, great, I didn't have a perfect day, and tomorrow won't be perfect, and this week is just a big challenge, so I'm going to start macros next week, or I'm going to start next week. Or then you try using the macros and you're only half-assing it and you're not really doing a great job, but then you're obviously going to blame the macro tracking, and so then that's clearly not going to work for you for weight loss. When in reality, you just were never taught how to use that tool specifically. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to start dropping them below. Otherwise, if you're catching this and you came in halfway and want to watch like the first part and get all the way through, feel free to drop a comment after. Shoot me a DM, of course. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, but just wanted to really nail down the point that if you are serious about making some changes in your life, whether it be in the realm of like health and fitness or personal development and things like that, there's a lot of free content out there that can get you started on the right direction. But if your journey is more than 3 to 5 pounds long, if your journey is going to take some navigating life, you're going to need to have an actual GPS system with you the entire time, and not just like, here's a map. If it doesn't work, so sorry. All you get is your map. You got to play the long game. And that's why getting a one-time macro consult is probably not the best idea if you have a long game to play. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. If you have any questions, drop them below, shoot me a DM, and I'll see you later. Bye.